who are going to be hosting and doing stuff the whole 4 days. And I'm also joined by Dan and Ian from Square Enix, and we're going to be seeing one of the most anticipated games coming out, Final Fantasy 15. And I'm sure so many people in the chat are super excited to see this. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see today?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we're showing basically what we've got on the show floor for people to play. So if people on the stream are coming to EGX over the next couple of days, this is like a little bit of a taster of what you'll be able to play. It's the beginning of the game, so yeah, don't worry about spoilers. You can watch it all, spoiler free. Yeah, and we're just basically going to just walk you through the game and like how it works, and just go through what makes it so cool.
Awesome. I think we're going to go straight to some footage now. We've actually got the game here, and we're going to see it being played. And it's a game. I know Final Fantasy is a storied franchise. There's so many people that are so emotionally invested, and I think Frankie's one of them. And I think we're all going to be super excited. She's left you hanging there. Leaving him hanging.
Totally left me hanging.
There we go.
I'm just so excited that I can't think straight. I'm just like, I've lost control of my senses.
It's really like an open world game, this one, right?
Yeah.
It's like different than the other ones.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 15, as you said, yeah, is an open world. The first in the franchise because it's basically to modernize the series. And yeah, traditionally with previous Final Fantasy games, yeah, they all have a kind of, I don't want to say a linear progression because that's not technically true. Because they have their world maps and stuff like that.
Kind of a linear story, and it takes you along, and then you get to a point where you get to explore the open world and do side quests and things like that.
Exactly. And in Final Fantasy 15, like, yeah, you have, I mean, you can see right now in the gameplay that it's completely different in that it's, yeah, you can run around, you can do tons of stuff. There's so much content for you to do, and yeah, and explore. And, we're going to show you some bits right now. So what's just happened, not sure if, you guys watching in chat just saw, we just had like a quick conversation with Cindy. I know this will look quite familiar if you're familiar with Final Fantasy. So yeah, we just had basically to set the scenario up. The car to Regalia has broken down. We're in the Hammerhead garage getting it fixed, and we just spoke to Cindy about we're a bit broke, so we need a little bit of cash, and Cindy has just offered us a job to get some money, and we are now looking at the Astral Sphere, which is part of the Ascension system. This is how you level up your characters and progress.
It's the new Crystarium.
Yeah, or if you play Final Fantasy X, it's sort of similar to the Sphere Grid as well. So you gain AP throughout the game by doing a variety of things, mostly by leveling up, but by doing certain other kind of like other side quests, conversations, that kind of thing. You gain AP, which you use to unlock skills for each of the 4 main characters.
And so we've got Noctis and his 3 mates, basically, who are going to be with him on this quest. Do they each have different talents that you develop, or can they all have the same talents?
Oh, no, they all have... Actually, we can have a look. So you can see from the... This is Noctis's, the main character. Noctis is the character that you play as. He is the Crown Prince of the Kingdom of Lucis, and yeah, you can see the kind of skills that he can unlock, which are quite combat focused. They all kind of focus around his special ability, which is his Warp Strike. This is Prompto, is his Astral Sphere, and Prompto uses a gun. So he's more long range, and you can see some of his skills, so he can equip machinery. As you can see, like Fatal Shot, obviously do with firearms, with guns, and then Ignis, you can see below, his abilities revolve around Mark. His main skill, if you will, his battle skill is Mark.
Okay.
So that marks. Well, actually, we'll hopefully be able to show you in a bit of gameplay.
Does he buff?
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I mean,
if I see this, like, is it a difficult game to get into if you never played Final Fantasy before?
Oh, not at all.
Because this looks like, for me, like, what's this? What's happening? What do you have to do? But is it really something you get to learn when you're playing this game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, yeah, we've kind of just jumped straight into the game, so like, I'm just trying to explain everything as quickly as I can.
Right.
But yeah, if you are a hardcore Final Fantasy fan, there's loads of depth for you to get involved. But then yeah, if you're completely new to the franchise, if you've never touched a Final Fantasy game, everything is easily accessible. It's easy to understand. It's one of the things, it's easy to understand and learn, but difficult to master because the skills, I mean, obviously you don't get all your skills right away. You learn as you progress through the game, and you have the choice to level up characters how you want, depending on where you allocate your AP. So you can, yeah, you'll learn how all the characters how they all fight, I guess, and like more about the personalities, all that kind of stuff. As you play through the game, and it's all very explained and displayed. It's not you're not just thrown in the deep end and expected to know like exactly what all these characters are going to be able to do like by the end of the game.
And
So-
right here we can see some side quests that are actually given to us by people we're talking to. So the diners where you can go to get new areas of the map and essentially get given beasts to go out and kill.
Yeah, so the diner, in this area of what did I say at the beginning of the game? Yeah, as you mentioned, this is where you can, find out some new information, start some new hunts. So if any of Final Fantasy 12 fans out there, it's sort of similar to that. So there are monsters around that, you are going to hunt and kill for as a side quest.
You explore the map as well. Like after a while, you will see more, explore more. Is it?
Yep, yep, for sure. There's definitely, there's tons of areas, tons of things to see, explore, discover. And I mean, these...
Looks great. Looks really beautiful.
It does look absolutely stunning. The graphics, the visuals, the detail in
really
the truck
smooth.
there. It really is I'm sure everyone looking at it now is blown away by how the high quality fidelity of the visuals.
He's got lovely hair.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you mean me, don't you? With my mini painter.
Always.
One of
why
the
you wearing a
Oh,
cap?
you mean the game? Oh, the game. Sorry.
One of the things, though, when we were in the diner just then and we were getting the side quests, one of the things that I really liked is it actually recommends what level you should be at when you go and play that game. Because I don't know about anyone on Twitch right now, but there have been some side quests I've taken on in previous Final Fantasy games where I have died really miserably and depressingly because I just was not at that level and I had to remember to go back and kind of farm for them once I'd finished the game. So it's quite useful having this recommendation. Oh, we're going into a battle. We're going into a
I
battle.
hear it. Like I hear the sound. Of the
There we go.
battle.
It's getting hyped.
Yeah.
Get hyped, son.
Okay.
So one
Yeah.
thing that's really different about Final Fantasy 15 compared to other Final Fantasy games in particular is combat's all real time now. I mean, you can see how fast and like how action orientated the battle system is. So gone are the way of like the menu based systems, and it's all real time.
No ATB.
I mean, how much of a decision was that to make? Obviously, Final Fantasy, you've had, not just the main 15 games, but all kinds of other secondary games, and it's one of the most beloved franchises in all of gaming. How much of a brave decision was that to, kind of change the fighting mechanics?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, I'm not a developer, so I can't really speak.
I need to know the answer.
on behalf of the dev team. But the thing is, like, the Final Fantasy franchise has always been about innovation and change. Like, that's why all of the games are completely different. So if you are new to the franchise, you do not have to play 1 to 14 or any of the other Final Fantasy games to get into Final Fantasy 15.
That's nice.
This can be your first because it's a new world with new characters, new story, new systems. But if you are a fan, there are lots of like kind of nods and references and things that, like themes that travel across all Final Fantasy games.
Can we talk about the battle AI? So going back to Final Fantasy 13. Of course, you had the battle paradigm, so you could kind of control what the members of your team were doing. So how do you have any impact, if you can, on your 3 cohorts?
Well, I guess Noctis is his best friend, Prompto, Ignis, and Gladio. They're all AI driven. So as you can see, like in the battle going on right now, like they will basically do their own thing. I mean, the AI is really advanced.
So you literally never actually have to program it in the Ascension to tell them what to do. You just basically skill them up as you see fit, and if you need healing and they're still alive, they're potentially going to heal you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully Ian, who is playing the game, isn't going to die, so we won't see that. No pressure.
I'm going to try.
But you just saw, actually, that was a combo attack. So the green bar on the left, the more you fight, the more that fills up. And when it fills up, you can initiate a combo attack between Noctis and one of the 3 characters. I was looking a bit, I only saw it in the corner of my eye there. I think Ian just used Prompto for his combo attack. But so the AI controls the characters, but what you can do is, because it's all real time and everything's going on, as you see it, you can position yourself in ways where you can do team up attacks with certain characters. Like if you attack enemies from behind, and if one of your other characters is also attacking from behind, you can do a joint cross attack, which is something that just happens kind of naturally because one of the main themes of Final Fantasy 15 is the theme of brotherhood. It's about these 4 characters, Noctis, Prompto, Ignis, and Gladio. the thing actually that's never actually been done before in the mainline Final Fantasy games is that for the first time in Final Fantasy 15, you start with your entire party. In other games, and especially like in other RPGs, generally speaking, you know, you go around and you collect allies and you get to know them throughout the story.
Yeah.
In Final
You need
Fantasy
to earn
15,
them.
yeah, exactly. But in Final Fantasy 15, you have your party, you have them from the start, and they have long history together. They're best friends. So we wanted to represent this in like, well, I guess this is represented in the combat system because, oh, there we go. That was Gladio's team-up attack. Because, what was I saying? So we wanted the battle system to be like, you can see the brotherhood between the characters. So if, it's like, let's say you were in this situation yourself, and you had, you know, your best friend with you. You wouldn't have to tell them, hey pal, I'm gonna go do this. You do this. You know, you just see it like, I'll back you up, son. We'll smash it. You know what I mean?
We'll
So
smash
like,
it.
Yeah,
Smash it.
we always.
yeah, just like always. Exactly. So, so it's like, that is part of the reason why. Well, again, because I can't speak for the dev team, but like, I assume that's part of the reason why, you know, those systems are in place, and it's also why we have the bigger Final Fantasy 15 universe, which again is something quite unique to Final Fantasy 15.
I think that's quite exciting, the fact that there's a movie and there's going to be an app and all kinds of other stuff to build into this world. You know, it's going to be a huge voyage that people can undertake in different kinds of media.
Now, I've seen Noctis's fiance, Luna for short, and she seems like a really powerful character. So she's an oracle, which kind of makes me think a little bit of Yuna and her, like, you know, how she used to send spirits. It feels to me like there's almost like a kind of nice throwback in a way. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just how me as a Final Fantasy fan likes to think. But she seems really powerful. Are we going to see her in battle at some point?
Well, we're not going to see anything past the beginning of the game today, or at EGX, and I wouldn't want to ruin anything
Too
in
bad.
terms of
Asking too many questions.
Yeah, in
We
terms
have
of
to find out ourselves.
spoiler, hashtag no
Can I
spoilers.
ask then, of course, a huge part of Final Fantasy is your Elodians or your summon, and people got very excited with the TGS trailer because we saw Shiva.
You
So
do? You do?
are we gonna maybe get some friends at some point?
Well, I think
Hashtag no spoilers.
can't get
You know,
anything.
we spoilers, you're probing,
Yeah.
but you can't get the
We're
answers.
trying.
Because that's the
really.
thing. It's like, these are the kind of things I think, well, personally as a Final Fantasy fan myself, like, I kind of want to discover, or I expect, you know, fans would want to discover themselves. So we don't want to give away too much.
Oh,
But can we talk actually going back almost to the beginning, so to speak? But can we find out a little bit more about Noctis and why he's actually out here? Like,
Yeah.
What's the reason he's on this mission?
So, a lot of this is kind of explained in the because when we jumped into the game, we obviously skipped the beginning, the opening cutscenes and all that kind of stuff, just so we could get into the action much faster. But in the opening scenes, this is kind of all kind of explained. And as well, if you watch the film Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15, and the anime Brotherhood, which is you can watch for free on YouTube, YouTube/Final Fantasy 15. So the reason why Noctis and his friends are on this journey is there's some tensions. Oh, well, I'm trying to not give away any spoilers for Kingsglaive or any. You know what I mean?
He's trying real
So
hard.
there's some tensions between the Kingdom of Lucis. Uh-oh.
You're going to die.
Oh no, he just used up all his MP.
It
So
will be really nice though. If it happens.
you're wishing
I
ill
wouldn't want
on
to
my.
see that.
So what is it? Yeah, so there's some tension between the Kingdom of Lucis, which is Noctis and his friends where they're from, and the Niflheim Empire. And Noctis is to be wed, as you mentioned, to Lunafreya in a place called Tenebrae. So basically, Noctis and his friends are basically on a journey to Tenebrae for Noctis to get married. Basically, is why they're on this journey at this point in the game.
So this is basically like a really action-packed stag do. Most people go to Prague. These guys go to the Outback.
Do you know what's great as well? Prompto will take photos along the way, and every time you camp, you will see a selection of the photos he's taken.
Oh, awesome.
And just like on a stag do, some of them aren't great, some of them are brilliant. And you can just imagine, like, if I was out with my friends on a road trip to go see my bride-to-be, then those are the exact sort of photographs my friends would be taking the whole time.
And you
And
are-
exactly the same photograph you tried to sweep under the rug.
Yeah.
That's the thing, I think, I mean, as I say, I've not really played Final Fantasy. It's one of those things that just I've not got into, but having watched a lot of it on Twitch and knowing people who do play it, it's that sense of camaraderie, that sense of banding together and stuff like that. The photos, the fact that you've got your companions from the start, it's just going to fully enrich the experience even more.
Yeah, and in that kind of regard, yeah, each of the characters do have a certain role, if you will. Like, yeah, mostly to do with their personal interests. So Prompto, photography is one of his main hobbies, his love. Ignis, you'll see when we camp, is the cook. He's the chef of the group, and yeah, be careful when you're hungry when you play this game because the food looks amazing. Yeah, Gladio likes deep outdoors, so he's the main, I guess, camping expert, if you will, and Noctis loves fishing. So yeah, as part of the side quests, and like extra, I was going to call them extracurricular activities. That's very school, isn't it? Like in school. Yeah, you can go fishing.
People love fishing side quests as well. Any game with fishing side quests,
They
people
put hours in it.
People will lap that up.
But I really love the swords in it. They're like so big. They look amazing.
I'm pretty sure
Not
I
only
saw-
swords, but
Oh.
I think I saw one of the other guys kind of just get weighed down by his sword. A moment ago. He sort of swung around and went.
Well, that's it. It's because they're big and they're heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to wind up. You got to wind up to get that big. Deal. There we go. Deal with that big damage. So yeah, that's the other thing about the battle system is that it's again very easy to pick up and understand and learn, but there's a lot of depth to it if you want to go in deeper. So you can change your weapon at will. You can see kind of the weapon kind of select on the bottom left, which
you
he
can
is.
select what you want
which
to
he's
use.
choosing, yeah.
Okay.
And if you hold down the attack button, you initiate your blitz attack, which is I don't want to say it's basically your primary attack. And at certain points during that, you can change weapons instantly, so you can extend your combos. And if you hold down the directional button with different weapons, you can perform weapon-specific types of attacks. So you saw like with the broadsword, like where Noctis comes crashing down inside. Like with a lance, I don't know if you guys caught it on the stream. There was a lunge attack, and with the sword, you can sidestep, you can backstep, and with certain weapons, again, like with the spear, you can launch yourself up in the air, do aerial combos, and yeah, you can link them all together. So it's simple in the sense that yeah, you can pick up and you can play the game and you can vanquish your foes. But then if you want to do it with style, and then if you want to be really pro at the game, it does have that depth to it.
And when you get to those harder monsters and those harder enemies, you're going to need to, by that point, hopefully you'll have practiced enough to be able to do it. But you don't want to run into those too early on in the game because, they're going to be mean.
And we've just successfully completed a side quest, and we've actually just gone straight into another one. So is this chapter of the game basically a series of linked quests?
These actual quests are part of the main storyline, but yeah, there's links between story because it's open world. The quest lines have to flow because otherwise it would totally break that open world experience. You'd be like every time you take a step back, and then you have to go initiate something else.
Yeah. Oh, are we going camping?
We're going to go camping. Yes. Yeah, I think we need to rest up before the next fight.
Yeah. I've seen in the trailers they've got those little camp seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because this is the other thing with that we haven't actually mentioned about the level up system is that when you do battle, you obviously gain XP, but to actually level up, you have to camp or you have to rest, and then you cash in all the XP that you've banked. And the reason for that is, well, the thing is, it's like the way in the world, in like kind of the lore, it's like they're camping and they're all kind of hanging out, and they're basically like reflecting on their experience throughout the day or however long it was since you last camped, and then that's when they take stock of what they've learned, and then hence they get stronger.
Because you have to do that every day, that camping, like for how long, or how is that?
You can stay out at night. There are more dangerous creatures out at night. So, it depends on how much you want to risk and reward sticking around or sleeping. But, you can stay out. You also get boosts, like buffs from the recipes that Ignis makes, and we'll see those in a moment. but they will run out when it hits nighttime. So if you stay out, you're not going to have that benefit if you've not camped for a while.
I'm really excited about the fact that you have to go and camp, because it's kind of a reminder of myself to go to bed. Because like back in the day when I played Final Fantasy X, I spent about 2 weeks in bed. I just left bed to have the occasional shower and some food. And I just used to go back to bed, and I literally just played continuously. I think my GCSEs. So it's fine.
okay,
I had
okay,
study
okay,
leave. I had
GCSEs.
spare time.
No, games are more important than school and work.
Exactly.
Surely. Like, come
Exactly.
on.
Where would we
Exactly.
be if we actually paid attention
Exactly.
in school?
I don't know.
Exactly. I wouldn't be
For
here.
for the record, we did pay attention. We did pay attention
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all got
First
yeah.
school, then the
Yeah,
rest.
yeah. That.
Up
stay,
it.
yeah, stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
Stay in school. School is important.
One thing I've noticed about this game, as I say, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy expert, but they're generally set in like high fantasy worlds. This seems to be set in a more modern day setting. I mean, what challenges does that bring, and what is that going to mean for the players coming into the game?
I think it's, it means that you can you see these familiar surroundings, these familiar landscapes, so you sort of instantly kind of gel with it. You kind of, you get it. You know what the world how it works, and then you see these massive fantastical creatures, and it's like, it really brings that sense of awe and wonder, like, oh my god, I want to explore this, and I want to see, everything, and having that sort of rooted in that reality meets fantasy kind of side to it. I think that really just gives you something that you can acknowledge and sort of gel with, but there's also, and then get further and deeper into it when you actually get to grips with everything that's going on.
Can we have a look at this menu?
I was going to
Ian?
say,
I was like,
just before we go on,
Enough about the game.
Yeah.
Let's look at the food.
look
I
at this
can see
food.
some
No one got breakfast
toasted
yet,
rice
so-
balls
Yeah.
and veggie medley stew.
I'm a fan of toast.
Flame roasted
I'm not
toast, no less.
surprised.
What was the egg one? Open
So here you can learn it,
face breakfast
and then
sandwich.
later on you can make it.
These
or-
are the ones that we already know, and then as you go through the game and you discover new ingredients and you meet people, you can find new recipes, and then they'll be
Okay.
added to this list. So
Okay.
also you need to have the ingredients in your stock, so when you're running around the world and you're picking stuff up.
Oh, you're getting them.
Yeah. So what do we want to eat, guys?
I like the look of that open-faced breakfast sandwich. The
That-
eggs,
yeah.
the ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go.
Geeky
That's-
ham.
I love the way that you guys have instantly looked at what the food you want to eat, rather than like the actual
Yeah.
stats.
Oh,
like
no,
the
right.
kind of pasta you
Probably
actually
because
get.
we didn't have really breakfast. I think that's why it
Nice
is.
to increase the attack by 30. It's not just a fact.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's
it's not
eggs. That looks lovely though.
That is a beautiful egg.
And that's,
That's
you know, the graphics there, even just the shine on the plate, and it really showing off the technology of the time. And these Final Fantasy's always been like kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to the visuals and the presentation, and it seems like it's knocked it out of the park again.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Is there
On
gonna-
behalf of the dev team, thank you.
Is there going to be any campfire banter?
Oh yeah, like there's there's a lot of exciting little things that happen at random moments or when you get to specific places, and it's all very much making you feel part of that group of guys, and that they actually are friends, and the sort of the banter that they have between each other sort of really drives that friendship home. So
Yeah,
here's
it's a shame you can't hear it. Well, I guess because we're talking so much. Yeah, you
Well,
can't hear some
the
of the
music
conversation.
that you heard like a little bit before, it sounds like, or now I think still, it sounds like you're in a restaurant having like a nice meal and such.
I wouldn't mind Ignis cooking for me. But yeah, these are the photos that Prompto has taken from the day.
this
so
is
yeah,
amazing.
that's
That was
this is
amazing.
great. This
this-
well, not so much.
Yeah.
That's not the
It
photos I
wasn't-
take.
Oh, that
Right.
one, yeah.
to be fair, it was in the middle of a battle,
Yeah.
so he probably had other things to be thinking of.
Are these unique to your gameplay as well?
Yeah.
That's
Sweet.
nice.
Some of them, like the bits that happen like in the key bits of the story, like the bits at the beginning, on the then. So where you see Cindy, where you knocked it. This is from the opening of the game. So some of the photos, because they're big plot points, will be reoccurring through everyone's game.
Yeah. Some are preset, and then the others are randomly generated based on your actions.
Definitely with the
So-
fights and such.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is why, and it's really cool because you get something like this. It's great. I want to share that right now. Like, look
The next one is
the next one's
something
like,
like, yeah,
okay,
great.
Prompto, you should have been, avoiding
This one.
the saber.
This one is good one.
This was good. This is
Yeah.
like, the groom to be has fallen over. Let's take a photo.
Yeah.
It's like one of those photo booths when you're on a roller coaster at Fort Park or something, and then you like.
Okay.
Now we wait.
Oh, it's thinking.
And
So
the
does
other,
it save every time you get to a campsite?
There's auto save and there's manual save.
And if you, I was going to say this really quietly, but if you die, does it just take you back to before the last battle like it does in the previous games? It just lets you try again straight away, or?
if you die, you're going to have to go back to the last save. So there's double autosave, so it will save continuously. But, you know, if you get too overzealous, then you're going to have to... but there's some really cool systems in place for when you die. So you see the health meter, it will go down as you get hit. And when it gets to the bottom, the whole thing starts to reduce, and that's as much health as you can regenerate next. So when that goes, then you're done. But you can actually have your friends come save you in battle. So if you're staggering around, you don't have any potions left, and you think you're on your last legs, you can sort of keep going for as long as you can. Somebody will come in and save you, and you know.
And of course, you can use items like Phoenix Down to bring yourself back as well.
Yeah, you can bring up this menu, choose who you want. Nobody needs it, so we're not going to use it. But
if they all die, you're still up. You can get them back to life, or?
Yeah, the other characters have a similar system to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use Phoenix Downs to bring them back. So
Is there only
stock
one
up on
healer in
those.
the party, or do they all have healing skills?
They can all heal you. So some of them have techniques in the skill tree that you can unlock that are more focused towards healing. So, and some of them have different states in which they do more healing. So like Ignis, for example, I think he has a technique where if he's got full health, he does a better boost to you and stuff like that.
Yeah, we saw early on in the stream when we were going through the astral spheres with the attention system that, yeah, both Prompto and Ignis had heal abilities that you could unlock next if you wanted to.
We'll find something shiny.
And that's the exciting thing as well is, you know, you've got these elements that people can, you know, are used to from previous Final Fantasy games, you know, Phoenix Downs and chocobos and all that kind of stuff. But also for someone that's new, it's not so kind of, oh my god, what is all these things? It's stuff you're going to slowly learn, and I think a lot of Final Fantasy games in the past might have been, new players might be put off. Oh, I've not played the first one, I don't understand the battle mechanics. But in this one, you've got a deep system for veteran players, but you've also got a nice introduction for new players as well.
Exactly, and I think that's also, Joan, like you guys touched upon it before, like how everything is like, has that sense of realism, because it makes it more relatable, right? Because you look at these guys and you're like, oh, they're guys, they're driving a car. I understand that. Whereas if they were, well, you should. You should understand that. But then if, like in previous Final Fantasy games, if you saw them flying around in an airship, you might be like, it might, you know, it's not something that you would instantly relate to.
So what I'm doing now is I just picked up a fossil word, and I'm going to use this because we're coming up to quite a strong enemy. I'm going to use this to show you the magic system. And this, again, so people that play other open world games should be quite familiar because it's like a crafting system.
Okay.
So before we camped, we picked up some fire. We absorbed it from the elemental things in the ground. And we're going to combine that. So we've added all the fire to our concoction. This is 38 power. We're going to add a catalyst, and I'm going to see, what did we pick up? We've got a fossil wood, and this does different effects when you combine it. So you can make up all sorts of different spells by combining things you find, and once you stick it all together, so this does fire and poison, so I'm going to add all 9 of those to increase the number that we're going to use.
And will you know that automatically, or will these be things you need to learn by experimentation?
Yeah, experimentation, and once you've created it, it will be saved to like a recipe list of spells. So, you know, if you find a rare item that you combine with it, and it's like, wow, this does like 5 lightning bolts at once, and it does 99 power, you know, or Firaga, it has the same, again, for Final Fantasy fans, it's got Fira, Firaga, Firaja. I'm not saying Firaja, but anyway. But yeah, it's got that sort of system, and it's pretty... Oops, what have I just done? I've just removed that, so let me just stick that down.
While we're looking at upgrading Noxus magic skills, can I just ask, can you upgrade weapons in a similar way?
Yes. So you can go and find bits around the world, take them to Sid. He will upgrade your weapons for you. And obviously you can buy and find other weapons as well when you're walking around the world. Okay, right. Now we're going to craft it. So, cool. Poison level 99, that will be useful. And I'm going to equip it to Noctis. Just select the fire. Alright. And while I'm here, I'm going to equip my Iron Bangle. I'm also just going to show you its casual outfit, which we can also change into.
So now
Pretty casual.
So now you got like weapons, but as well something you can cast like fire things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So unlike previous Final Fantasies, you can craft the magic and then you throw it. Sort of, you can pick where you're going to throw it, and I'm going to show you that now in this next battle. So
I think that will excite, as I say, veteran and new players. Because before, you have almost the menu system. You choose ability, you choose a target, you wait for your turn. This is a lot more dynamic and a lot more kind of in the moment, and will allow for a lot more creative gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. And because the 4 weapon slots, they're all customizable, so you can choose, like, depending on how you want to play. If you want to have 4 magic spells and just go nuts with magic, then you can. If you want 4 weapons, 3 in 1 like we have now, it's completely your choice.
And this is obviously we're going for Crossbow here, absolutely stunning graphics. And
I really like it how they're like, oh come on, you can do it, like really getting themselves up to going to a fight and trying to get yours first, and it's really
At the same time, they're trying to look kind of cool doing it.
Yeah,
Like, hey, come on, I can handle this.
They're going to fight like a big one. No, we're alright.
Let's wait for him to get close. He's gonna. All right. Let's try this.
Okay, so that's
There we go.
Right in his face.
So he's poisoned. He's on fire. He's having a good time.
So it's not that you have to point out where, it's just like because you have already this enemy attacked, you will put this always on him. It's not that you randomly
there is a targeting system.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with previous Final Fantasy games, boss battles, you tended to kind of have to learn their habits. So you go, oh, okay, right, in a second I'm gonna stagger them, and then I need to switch my paradigm and use these kind of attacks. But now it's completely up to you. There's no ATB or anything like that. How does that affect the strategy?
Well, it affects it well, there's a lot of ways, 'cause there's a lot of different elements to combat. I mean, obviously we talked about like how the combat system kind of works, but I'm not sure if you just saw it in the stream just then. Ian actually broke off the horn of the blood horn. So certain enemies will have breakable parts, I guess is the way to put it. So that if you target certain parts, break them off, they'll become weaker. So then you can, or eliminate certain moves that they can do. Nice.
Well done.
Not very stealthy,
Didn't even
but I
break a
guess.
sweat.
Yeah, because the moment Ignis was almost dying, you said like the last health bar going down. That was the part you were talking about before. You have to do something, or can you wait till the other ones are maybe doing something?
They can do it too. So I didn't get to Ignis in time. I was trying to get to him,
Yeah.
but then just before I got there, Gladio actually stepped in and healed Ignis himself.
Yeah,
so
because that last part was like, well, if that happens, if that is really going down, then he's really dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's really cool. Like they just, they will operate by themselves, and occasionally they'll do things like if you take out an enemy and you're nearby, they'll high five and fist bump and stuff, and it's so cool. It's like these are like
It's
actual
like a crew, really.
Yeah.
and that will add to the story and your sense of relationships with the characters and make the journey all the more profound.
Exactly, yeah, because it gets you involved. It makes you feel like you're part of these guys. That you are on this journey with them, and then the camaraderie between them. And you actually see what Ian mentioned before on Ignis's health bar. You can see that because he was knocked out, the end of it's black, but then he's recovering to a certain point, and then when you camp, it'll be completely recovered.
And Ian's doing something cheeky here. So he's sprinting, but as his meter runs down, you press something right at the last moment, so you get another full band, don't you? Full bar, sorry.
Yeah, basically you let go of the button just as it hits the end. Oh, I just entered a battle, so it completely ruined.
Or you just ran away from it.
I don't want to get involved with that thing. I'm going to just keep
You
running.
just run away.
Yeah,
He's just chilling. He's no need to hurt him.
Yeah, because because it's a completely open world, you're probably going to be doing a lot of running. So yeah, if we had the system where you run out of stamina, it can be a bit bit of a downer where you have to stop and start. Actually, this was a bit of something's going to happen.
Wow.
You didn't want to find the other one, but this one is much bigger.
Well, that is awesome. Like
That's
the way it came from the sun and the silhouette coming across the plane, beautiful.
Do you know what's
Yes,
We
great?
have to fight that. Because that's
Not
quite
yet.
big.
But I'm not saying anything else.
I don't think. Yeah, he's not gonna come in and attack us right now.
That is a really big
That
target.
foreboding though.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
Make sure always look both ways when you're
So
crossing
you
the road.
really have to level up.
Stop,
really
look,
to
live,
get
and
it.
live.
Yeah.
You got to look both ways across the road, but also got to look up in the sky. Giant birds coming down.
Can we talk about the car? Because we haven't got to see much of the car this time round. Are we going to it now?
We're going to it
We're
now.
going to get in the car.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
See
And this is the Regalia? Regalia?
Yep, the royal ride.
The Royal
guess.
Royal ride.
I wanted 2 R's. I'm like, what word for car can I use with that ride?
The
It's
Royal
gonna
Ride.
have to be.
So the Royal Ride would have been repaired by this point?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we've saved Cindy's friend and we've destroyed the jewel horn. So I think we've done enough now to warrant, you know, a car repair. I would hope.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
what
we got
you
a phone
see
call.
on the mini map? You see like the point of like the quest
Yeah.
as well, like a little car.
Yeah.
Has that something to do with that one? Are you going to get it?
Yeah, so
Just
wherever
it's
you park
showing
your
it.
car,
Yeah.
it will show up on the mini-map.
Okay,
so
so that's
say
why you
you're out
see
in the
it
middle of
over there.
nowhere and you know,
You've gone a bit too far.
it's the
Yeah.
classic, where did we park?
But it's the whole thing that you have like quests to do. I really love that. It's for me always something. I love questing in games. Sometimes when I'm on the highest level, I'm like, what to do? Because you can gear up or whatever, but I really like to do questing. So in that way, you always keep on going, and after a while, you're like, oh my god, it's 10 hours later. It's pretty much it. I think this really happens with this game as well.
I think,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
I think that's the best thing, and you know, the fact that you, straight from the beginning, that's it, you can go. Like, go, find some quests,
This is lovely.
do some hunts. You know, there's nothing that's sort of like funneling you into one direction. It will allow you to sort of just go out, find things. You know, you'll find people broken down at the side of the road that you can go help. You can find people trapped and, you know, sort of surrounded by saber so you can go help them. And there's all sorts to just see and do straight from the beginning. So
Yeah.
What you can also see, a little bit of extra graphical detail. Because that last fight with the dual horn was quite a rough battle, you can see, you might have actually noticed it in the picture that prompted, well, had Cindy take one, that his hair's quite dusty, and his clothes are all quite dusty because Ian's been running around and like rolling in the mud.
A bit of mud on his back, actually, yeah.
And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, and of course is, I think because we assume it's amazing, is the music. You know, I play quite a lot of Theta Rhythm. I say I haven't played a Final Fantasy game, but I love Theta Rhythm. I love the music in this game and the refrains that signify other games and the new soundtrack. I'm sure people can't wait to hear all the beautiful music this game's going to have.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack is incredible. We actually did a concert recently at Abbey Road Studios,
Wow.
which was, we debuted some new music on that, and it was, incredible. The composer Yoko Shimomura has done an incredible job.
I saw the pictures of her on the Abbey Road.
Yeah, well, you got it. When you're at Abbey Road, you have to.
speaking of music, actually,
That was a good segue.
that was a very good segue.
Oh my.
There's a giant chocobo behind
Oh,
us.
you've
I
got
was like, what is that?
well, I think.
Oh my, that looks amazing.
Can you? Is it on the stream? Can you? Oh, you
You
can.
can
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah,
about
we're
see
gonna-
it in the bottom.
I'm telling it to come round, but actually, I think we
Look
can.
at that.
And actually, can we just talk about the chocobos? I
Yeah.
know we're driving along, but I want to talk about the chocobos because
Jealous, that's why.
normally, if you come across an enemy, I say normally, in previous games, you come across an enemy and then the chocobos has got scared and chucked you off. But in this one, can you actually
Right.
attack while sat on the chocobo?
You can call chocobos in to help you. And help you in battle. I've not. It's very difficult
I
to
think-
play this while there's a chocobo behind me doing stuff, guys.
I think he wants us to get out of the
Getting all
car.
nervous.
He wants us to
Yeah,
ride a
like, what is
chocobo.
this mechanical nonsense?
Yeah.
I'm a chocobo. That's all you need. Feels left out.
We got the chocobo theme playing now,
Yeah.
so it's
Oh, amazing. Oh, you put it
But
on
this-
the radio.
On the
yeah.
radio,
This is the
nice.
thing. Yeah, with the radio in the car, you can change the music, and there's loads of classic Final
It's
Fantasy.
scary when it looks at you.
No, we've only got a few minutes left, I think. So tell us, how can we get our hands and when can we get our hands on this game?
Well, the game Final Fantasy 15 is available on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 November 29th worldwide. So in Japan, North America, and across Europe.
And there's a couple of different editions as well.
Yep, there's a day one edition, and there's a deluxe edition which comes in a special steel case along with Kingsglaive, which is the Final Fantasy 15 film, and unfortunately there was, I guess people are going to be asking, might be asking on the chat about the.
This is the
This is,
chocobo.
I can see the thing is I
I'm
can
trying to
see
listen and
something
be
from-
professional.
I can see in the corner of my eye every now and then. I'm just like.
He's like, barely can touch it, like a couple of centimeters.
You don't get a giant chocobo in any of the editions, do you, Sam?
No, sadly not.
There's no giant chocobo.
But yeah, if you guys are coming to EGX, we have a couple of chocobos for you guys. Yeah, to come and meet, because I'm sure they'd love to meet you as well.
Yeah, I'm sure people love to get a photo with one as well, and you know, such a famous part of the game.
This is cheeky, I kind of want to see the chocobo's feathers. I don't know if the chocobo would turn around.
Oh, I
No.
think no.
No, the chocobo
the chocobo's
will
like,
not
no,
turn around. That was
no.
a very rude request.
How dare
How
you?
dare you
Yeah,
look
it's
on?
time to turn
You're looking
around.
at Choco from behind. That's
I'm
quite
so
risque.
sorry. That is scandalous. It's my first time on the Twitch sofa, and I have already, been a little bit rude. I apologise. It's too early in the morning.
Nothing like nature in the
And if
middle
you're at
of
EGX, you can
nowhere.
also play the game here.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stations. I think I haven't seen it since I've been back to the booth since the doors opened, but I had because it's not far from here. I had a quick look. The queue seems to be quite long.
I can imagine.
So you have to go now.
Be early.
Yeah.
Be early
Yeah.
to make sure you get a chance to
We've
play.
actually, we're going to leave Final Fantasy behind for a little while, but actually you guys are going to stick around because we've got another game from Square Enix coming up next, haven't we?
Indeed, we do.
Yeah, we've got loads more content here, obviously, from the Twitch booth here, live from EGX 2016 from Birmingham. And the next game coming up is some Dragon Quest builders. And I can see
Ta-ta.
Frankie, and
It looks
we've got the hats
amazing.
on ready, as you can see. So don't